Hello and welcome. My name is Pankaj Dubey, and in this video we are going to learn that how to handle radio buttons and checkboxes. So basically both are very similar, so it says that we have to learn only one, whether you can learn radio buttons or checkboxes, and eventually you will be knowing the other one. So for reference, in this video we are going to see all the cases with radio buttons. Right, so you can check a radio button by performing click action on that element, right? So what we'll do, we'll at the same time we'll have a demo of that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a program here. I'm using Eclipse as my Java IDE. So what I'm going to do, I have already a project, so I'll create a class here. So go to new and then select a class, and I'm going to name it as radio button. And for the time being we'll be using only public static void main, which is the main method of the program. And because here we're not going to deal with test-ng, it's just that we'll write a simple program, so I'm going to use a main method. So this main method will by creating this class, it will give us a template of Java class. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a driver. The first will be launch a driver. I won't take much time here. I'll just copy paste the code. Then we'll ask driver to visit a page where I can show you the radio buttons, right? And third action will be to check a radio button, right? So I already have a code to launch a browser, which is Chrome browser I'm going to work on for this video, right? And then we'll ask driver to get a browser for us, get a website for us, right? So I have created one page for Pralrik on this raisemyvoice.org. I'll copy and paste it from here. So whenever you are using any URL, you make sure that you always add HTTP or HTTPS protocol in your URL, right? So what now we have to do is we have to inspect the element here, which is option 1 and option 2 and option 3. There are 3 options here, and in front of that you can see the radio buttons, right? So we will inspect the HTML attributes of this radio button by using Firebug. So Firebug is a Firefox plugin. You can watch my other video of Selenium locator and then you will understand what is Firebug. So by using it you can create your own you can generate your own XPath or CSS selector, right? So here what we are going to do is we are going to create our own XPath for this radio button. So I'll be using this text here and I'll create a XPath for me. So I'm going to use text method, and which equals to option 1, and then I have to go to preceding sibling, which is a kind of input, which is an input type of field. Hit enter. Here you can see this has selected this radio button, right? So this XPath will work with us. So what we can do is we can write a program to, we can ask driver to find element by using XPath, and here we'll pass the value of XPath, and then we'll ask it to do click on it, right? So this is a very simple line of code that we have written here. It is giving one error, so we have to import by from org.openqa.selenium, and then what is this? Okay, right. So this is it. So this statement will select the first element or first radio button in the list. So just try to see it how it works. So I'm going to run the program as a Java application. So it will launch the browser, it will get us the website, and then it will select the first radio button in the list. So the site is being loaded. I'll just go downwards. Here there are 3 options and it should select the first option, right? So here you can see that it works, right? So this is the first way of selecting one element by using the click action on it, right? So those, we also have a second option by to select any element by using its value. So I'll just quickly show it here. So by using its value, a radio button can be selected if it satisfies the condition by comparing its value, right? So we have to check it, we have to check the radio button by using its value. So what we have to do is we have to get the value of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a simple if condition, and sorry, I have to copy it. Now under if condition, we'll ask driver to find the element And then now what we have to do is we have to get the value attribute of this HTML. So if you go back on screen here, you can see that with this input field, with this radio button, there is a value attached to it, and it is mandatory that whenever you will find any radio button, there will be certain values attached to that radio button. So there are 3 radio buttons, and you can check that for all the radio buttons there will be some value attached to it. Here you can see another input type, which is a radio button, and here you can see that value 14 is attached. For the third radio button, if you go here, you will find that value 15 is attached to it. So if you place the cursor here, that now you can see that the third option is highlighted here. So if you see, it is like that, right? So it is a mandatory that whenever you will find any radio button, you will find one attached value with this. So we are going to use the value. So for that thing, what you have to do is you have to ask the driver to get the attribute, and it will be a value, and now you can compare it with any desired value, right? So if it matches with, let's say, 13, because 13 is the value attached to it, then it should select this statement or select this radio button, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it from here and I'll paste it here and then click. So now it will compare its value first, and if it matches with 13, then it will select the first element, right? So instead of first, now I'm going to do is for the second. So the value attached to second radio button is 14. So it should select the second radio button in the list. Now run the program and see how it works. So we will have to wait for a little bit time. So it has launched the browser. Now navigating to the website, it will pick the value of the second radio button and will compare it with string 14, and based on that the second value will be selected in the list, right? So this was the second option of selecting the element. Now what you can do is there is a third option available. What's that? Go back on slides. Here you will see that you can check that which radio button is selected by using .isSelected method. So if you're not aware that what radio button will be selected by default, then you can check it by using .isSelected method in your program. So let's see how it works. So what we have to do is, first I'm going to check the radio button. So by default the second radio button will be selected, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check that whether which radio button is selected, and based on that we'll do certain action. So this statement will find that particular element, and after finding that element, right, is selected, and if it is returning true, compare it with true, and based on that if it returns true, then you can print a statement that second option is selected. You can do whatever you want to, it's just a demo, so I'm just going to print a statement. So launch the program and see how it works. It will launch the browser. Now navigating to the website, and the first line of code will select the second radio button in the list, and then based on some conditions it will print a statement in the console, on the console. Right, option 2 is selected. Go back on your Eclipse, which is the Java IDE, and here you can see that as it has returned a true condition, the statement is printed that second option is selected. Right, so that's all, and this is how you can handle the radio buttons and checkboxes in your Selenium program. Thanks for watching.